Rangers 2, Celtic 2, the first game of the Scottish Premiership 2023 is over, and it was an exciting Old Firm, but the league is done at the start of January. Thoughts on that?
It is all over.
Kyogo, who was invisible the entire game, stepped up when it mattered and made it 2 each and sunk Rangers.
The invisible Kyogo has just handed Rangers an invisible League 56 title, because that's the only one they'll be getting there, unfortunately. It's mad how Kyogo was so shite, yet got the goal that's essentially just ended the league, but that's it.
I mean, it feels like a loss, but there's a lot of positives to take for this. It's the best to play against Celtic. I'd say it's the best to play against Celtic under Ange, apart from maybe when they won 1-0. But even then, I remember that game. They were pretty shite. So I would actually say Beale has done a pretty good job, because, this is the strongest Ange's Celtic's been.
Well, yeah, but not performance-wise.
Not performance-wise, but player-wise, and he's come in, he's steadied the ship, he's won 4 games, and realistically, the first half was even. I think Celtic were just a little bit less chaotic, but Rangers deserved to win this game. I don't think there's anyone really going to dispute that. Second half, they should have scored 3, 4, they only scored 2. Didn't, so you know what? A lot of negatives. The subs were fucking horrendous. Morelos and Tav and Goldson, the comedy mongoloids at the start of the game. But for me, it's the subs. I think the subs are unforgivable, and that falls at Bale's doorstep. Like, the tactics and all, he got them all sorted, but bringing on Scott Wright and James Sands when you have a bench with so much more... look at Arfield, super sub. Him for Tillman is a like-for-like sub. They will press, they will give you energy. You bring on James Sands, and he played like Bobby Sands. He was playing for the opposition here. It was shite. I didn't like it. Thoughts on it?
I thought the subs were... I think the subs possibly lost Rangers the game.
Yeah, I totally...
Because I thought Rangers looked more likely to get a third goal up until all the subs were made, and then that's when Celtic began coming into it a wee bit more.
Absolutely, but we kick off the game. Morelos hits a ball across field, gives it away to Maida, right? It's abysmal from Morelos, but Tav, the weakest attempt at a tackle in an Old Firm game you'll ever see. To me, he's equally at fault here for as Morelos. And then Goldson, least at fault, but again, it was a pretty pish attempt to do anything. And then McGregor gets something on it, but I'm not going to blame McGregor for this. Rangers are then kind of on the ropes after this. Don't really create hee-haw, but then... neither the Celtic. They have a couple of balls that's fizzed into the box, but
Morelos had Kyogo had a chance that he probably should have took, but he didn't hit the ball. So
Kyogo's first touch was in the 88th minute, literally. Then Morelos goes, you know what? I'm actually gonna put a bit of effort in here. Tracks down Joe Hart. Joe Hart botches almost. I thought it was almost gonna go in or something. Doesn't go in. Morelos finds Kamara. He finds Kent. Kent's got acres of time and space here, and yet he can't. It's an alright shot. It's not like something Sakala would hit where it go at the stadium. But Joe Hart saves it. It's a comfortable save. It's not even placed, in my opinion. That goes out for a corner. And then Rangers begin to get a bit of momentum here. A few corners. Morelos should score a couple, especially Juranovic come on. Juranovic, you know what? I think there's a case Juranovic was the worst player on the park.
I think you could definitely make that case. He wasn't very good. Talk about this big money move. I think that certainly took a few million off his transfer value, because big clubs watching that will be like, fuck yeah, I'm not paying money for this guy.
I know he's playing out of position, but if you're a World Cup semi-finalist and you're put on a stature, you should be able to turn up in any position. And when I say turn up, they're reasonable. He was by far the worst player until you could maybe argue the Rangers subs came on. But we go into half time, you're thinking, Rangers, just get a draw, see this out, try and get something. Don't get pumped. But then, 2 quick goals. Ryan Kent. That is what you expect from Ryan Kent. It's very reminiscent of his goal at Celtic Park 3 years ago. If you remember, you know. If you don't, get to know. Then, Sakala played through. Skin Scarfelt. He's running. Brought down. Questionable if it's a penalty or not. Personally, I think it is. But, we didn't get enough angles of it to actually have a clear-cut 100%. Did far? I don't know, because John Beaton went, fuck Celtic, and pointed to the spot. Tav steps up, redeems himself.
I thought John Beaton had a good game today.
I know, but there's no, I don't know.
There's a couple of tackles that I thought were 50-50, and he ended up giving free kicks. But I don't think he made any mistakes that contributed to goals. I'll put it that way. I don't think there's any big talking points. I don't think any team can come away and go, he screwed us or something like that. There was a free kick that he gave to Rangers, or he gave to Celtic late on against
Yeah,
right, and it looked like Carter Vickers was holding on to right just as. But then again, I mean that's a bit of nothing. Like,
yeah,
one free kick here and there is not a bad game in my opinion.
And most of the penalty shouts for Celtic, they're going to say it was a screw job, blah blah blah. But most of them, their hand is at their body, or it's right close.
The only thing I would like to see maybe in the future is, can you just show us him checking VAR or show us a better angle of the so-called handball? Then that way we can make up for our own minds whether it was a handball or not. Sometimes we'll go, oh, they're checking a handball, and then 10 seconds later, no pen. It's like,
but no, it's worse. See when you're watching the TV, you actually get the angles if it's offside. You get like a few replays. See when you're at the game, you get hee-haw. All you get in the screen is checking VAR, possible penalty, possible goal.
Everybody at the game sitting there like not knowing what's happening. So like
Kevin Van Veen scored a couple of days ago, and everyone's just sitting there like, what the fuck? What's going on?
That's kind of my point. I just wish they would do a bit more, like to let us know what's happening. Why is it not being given? Rather than just be like, oh, they're checking it. Oh, check's over. It's like.
Exactly, but yeah, Rangers 2, Celtic 2, Kyogo does eventually make it, but Rangers should have put this game out of sight, out of mind, and they didn't. And then the subs, man, you know what? I honestly feel like bringing those two on deserve Rangers to lose, to drop 2 points, because, I don't know, man, look at, you've got Kolak, you've got Roof, you've got Arfield. Are you trying to tell me, Arfield's actually not injured, Kolak and Roof, right, they've been injured, but if they can't play any sort of minutes, why are they on the bench?
Well, if I can
was it to make Celtic? Was it literally just for the thing?
Intimidation factor?
Rangers' bench a wee bit better today. Is that what it was for?
Well, if I can take a quote from CJ Noble, he said, "If Celtic bringing on Jota and Giamakis with 15 minutes left, while we subbed on Scott Wright and James Sands, isn't a wake-up call to this board. We need signings. I don't know what will." Well, to me, that sums up.
You know what? That CJ Noble, mate. You've got the most subs, so we'll let you have this round.
I mean, Celtic are bringing on two guys that probably a lot of the Celtic fan base wanted to be starting this game. Yeah. Rangers are bringing on two guys that the majority of the fan base don't want anywhere near the team. So when you sum that up,
shouldn't even be in the fucking stands watching it.
Not allowed in the stadium. Fucking restrict the access or something. Look, a draw, a better point for Celtic than it was for Rangers. Simple as that, really.
But it gives Rangers hope for the future, because a lot of people were expecting Celtic to pump Rangers today. But then again, Celtic didn't turn up, so is it a glass half empty, a glass half full? It's 1 point apiece and it's pish for fucking Fuse. And until then, peace.